All right, people. So Nick Saban kind of went off last night, right? He went off on the NIL. He went off on Texas A&M. He even said something about Travis Hunter at Jackson State. Um, Nick Saban put out a lot of accusations. He also stated a lot of facts too. But right on cue, Jimbo Fisher comes on here. If you even watch the interview, it's like they heard Saban talking about him and they just said, "Oh, we got to hold a press conference tomorrow so Jimbo can get on here and ramble and rave and get mad because somebody's talking about him and how he's paying for his players." Now, what's really paying for players? Because this is Jimbo's whole argument. It was Deion Sanders' argument too. We don't pay these players. Now, what do you mean by pay these players? Do you mean NIL deals getting set up for them as recruits where they come in and make money off of NIL deals? Is that technically paying players? That's one thing. But this is the thing. Jimbo's sitting here saying we didn't break any laws, we didn't pay these players. But of course, they had all these NIL deals and all this money lined up for them. So, I mean, it depends on what your definition of paying for players is. But like I said, right on cue, Jimbo Fisher comes on here with the pity me defense thing. And this is really the thing with the NIL, and this is why Lane Kiffin comes on here and gets a little bit upset. Ole Miss doesn't really have money. They just don't. They don't have the NIL thing figured out yet, and that's it just is what it is. It's a Mississippi school. There's nothing in Mississippi. Let's just be honest. But Jimbo Fisher's sitting around in Texas with all that money, and he took advantage of it. And look, Texas A&M didn't do anything wrong. They were ahead of the curve. They had the money. They did everything that they wanted to do, and it was all within their right. But with that being said, like the crybaby routine, it just really gets old. It really just gets old. But a lot of people are clapping back at Nick Saban right now because of what he said. But this is the whole point, like I'm saying. What do you define as paying for players? If you have NIL deals ready for these players, you're not paying them. So, but that's what he's saying. I mean, we didn't break any law, so we didn't pay players. So, it's all legal. So. It's just funny how Jimbo Fisher comes on and does that, but Nick Saban did say a lot of things yesterday. A little bit wild of the accusations, but Nick Saban did speak a lot of facts, and it's really just based on the NIL. And Jimbo's on here crying about how Alabama had the number 2 recruiting class, Texas A&M had number 1, and how Nick Saban, when he's not on top, when Nick Saban's not on top, he has to cry. Jimbo, you're the biggest crybaby I've ever seen, and every time you can just go listen to Jimbo, and then I'm gonna get off here. But you can go listen to Jimbo, and just listen to his press conference. He literally sounds like a car salesman that's about to sell you a lemon car and then not give you your money back whenever the car shits the bed on you. I mean, that's just what he sounds like. I've been saying that for forever. He just sounds like a shady person, and it's because he is. I mean. He talks about how he has nothing to hide. I mean, what about the last years at Florida State? You had nothing to hide there too. I mean, when you left the program and left them to just basically to die. Anyway, man, just a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, if I have a deal for you and I'm not paying you directly out of my pocket, then I'm technically not paying you as a player. So that's just code for it. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's all legal. So. Not really a problem, but like I also said, Ole Miss can't get these players. That's why Lane Kiffin has a problem with it. So it's a real thing, but it's just whatever. But just my thoughts.